What is a trust?
Historically, the trust dates back to the Middle Ages in England. Knights leaving for the Crusades would entrust their lands to a trusted person to ensure that their families would not go without. This practice has evolved to become today a powerful legal tool for wealth management and asset protection. In fact, a trust is like a chest entrusted to a guardian, which can have different locks depending on the intended purpose. The way it works is as follows and takes into account several key elements. First, let's start by defining the parties involved. There is the settlor, that is, the creator of the trust, who transfers assets, cash, shares, property, collectibles into an autonomous estate that no longer belongs to them. Next, there is the trustee. This is the fiduciary of the estate, appointed by the settlor. They undertake to hold and manage this estate according to precise rules. And finally, there is the beneficiary, who is the person entitled to benefit from the trust according to the conditions set out at the start. There is also the protector, which is a special case. This role is not compulsory, but may be given the task of overseeing that the trustee properly fulfills their duties. Secondly, the rules of the game must be established. What assets are being entrusted? How and when are they transferred and then managed? How can the trust be brought to an end? Thirdly, formalize the rules. The trust is set up by a written document, the trust deed, which specifies the conditions and the powers of the trustee. In some countries, the trust must also be registered and tax obligations must be met.
Are there different types of trusts?
Yes, they can be grouped into broad categories, and here are the most common ones. We talk about a revocable trust if it is a trust that can be reopened and modified. Conversely, it is called an irrevocable trust if nothing can be changed once the trust has been created. An inter vivos trust is one that operates during the settlor's lifetime, while its opposite, the testamentary trust, only comes into effect after the settlor's death. A discretionary trust is a type where the trustee has the freedom to distribute income and assets, while its opposite, the fixed trust, is one where the trustee must follow a set plan. There is also the charitable trust, which is a trust dedicated to charitable causes.
What are the advantages and disadvantages?
On the advantages side, we have protection of assets. A trust allows you to protect assets from creditors or legal disputes. Optimized transfer. A trust can make inheritance easier by avoiding conflicts or, depending on your situation, certain administrative or tax burdens. Confidentiality. A trust is not necessarily public. There are even secret trusts. Flexibility. A trust allows you to adapt the management of assets to the needs of the beneficiaries, for example, to protect a minor child. On the disadvantages side, we have the cost of setting up and managing it. A trust involves fees for drafting the deed and, often, you generally need to use a professional to administer and manage it. Loss of control. There is dispossession of the settlor and, with an irrevocable trust for example, the creator can no longer, in particular, change the rules or recover their assets. Legal and tax complexity. The trust itself is not necessarily subject to taxation. However, depending on the country of residence of the trustee and/or the beneficiaries, the tax situation can be disadvantageous. To conclude, a well-constructed and secure trust can represent the cornerstone of a complex international family estate. However, particular attention is absolutely necessary depending on the countries involved, directly or indirectly, especially those with civil law traditions, which often struggle to recognize it effectively.